As you know by now, Eric DeCosta and Steve Bisciotti spoke to the media on Tuesday for the first time since firing John Harbaugh. There was a lot of fun things to take away from that. Number one, and most notably, Steve Bisciotti is electric behind a microphone. But Eric DeCosta said something that really piqued my interest. He's talking about the pass rush. And he said, I think generally speaking, we've got to do a better job of creating pressure on defense. That will help the secondary, I think, being complementary on defense that way. Getting after it, affecting the quarterback, affecting the pocket would be something big. And frankly, EDC, I could not agree more. In fact, we're only going to talk about this team's pass rush more and more and more the closer we get to draft season right here at the Ravens Rundown. But frankly, we've been talking about it for a very, very long time because we've known pretty much since week 2 in this thing that this pass rush group is not good. 30 sacks, 28th best. Their pass rush win rate was 30%, 28th best. Their best metric on screen is their quarterback pressures, and they weren't even top 20. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Baltimore Ravens we're talking about. We're not talking about the Cleveland Browns. We're not talking about the Arizona Cardinals. We're talking about a team that's known for being physical on the defensive line, and this is the product they put out. And then obviously because of that, your passing defense just in general fell off a cliff. And it wasn't even that good last year. Almost 250 yards a game through the air. That was third worst. 6.4 yards per pass, 23 touchdowns through the air, and an EPA per passing play plus .01. It was horrible. And it's a big reason that a lot of people who cover this team, myself included, have talked about adding a star player to this unit. Now, the cool thing is Eric DeCosta kind of hinted at them almost doing that towards the trade deadline. And this is really where I started thinking maybe a big move is coming down the line. He said, I'm never opposed to getting an elite player. We almost made a trade at the trade deadline. We tried to make a trade, and we didn't get it done. There's been some insinuation that he's talking right there about Maxx Crosby. And number one, I hope he is. Number two, it's time to go and get it. It's time to go big for number 98 in silver and black. I believe that Maxx Crosby would transform this defense in an instant. We talked about it this past weekend. Lead Ravens insider Jeff Zreback wrote a whole article about it. He said you want your defense to get off the field more often. In this pattern of gut-wrenching losses and blown leads, you want your defense to get back to being feared again. Be willing to dip into your draft capital and trade a young player or two to acquire Las Vegas Raiders pass rusher Maxx Crosby. He completely changed the face of the Ravens defense, which had a rough 2025. It was miserable. Maxx Crosby would help it out immensely. Now, statistically, he took a little bit of a step back in 2025, but it's funny because a Maxx Crosby step back is still double-digit sacks. Maxx Crosby would have more than double, or did have more than double in 15 games played, the leading sack getter for the Baltimore Ravens in 2025. And we showed you this a couple days ago. I want to remind you, posted something a little bit cryptic on his social media last week. Kind of feels like a wide receiver type post, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And I want to remind you that Adam Schefter tweeted out late December that his season was being shut down because of knee surgery. Jay Glazer then reported, said Raiders told Maxx Crosby they want to shut him down the last 2 games. Crosby was played with injuries much of the year. Vehemently disagreed, left the building. This could lead to questions on his future in Las Vegas. And I hope it does. Look, the Raiders suck. They are in full rebuild mode. Them trading him away would help a ton with their cap situation. They have the number 1 overall pick, and they have a brand new head coach coming into town. Crosby would change everything about this team. Not just statistically, but the way they play as well. The strength in which they play in. Gage, we can get to the weigh-in after. But real quick, we'll talk about Crosby, more edge rusher stuff in a little bit. I want to tell you about our friends at Polymarket. It's time to challenge the status quo, and Polymarket is now live to help us do so. You can be a part of the revolutionary alternative to sportsbooks with our special invite code. Download Polymarket's new app now via the link that is in the description and comments to unlock exclusive early access and a free $10 in your account with the invite code chat. Polymarket is a prediction marketplace that lets you make trades on the outcomes of sporting events, as you can see here on the screen. You can even buy and sell within a game with live trading. Polymarket has the lowest fees ever. You trade against other people, not the platform. You can cash out anytime and react to the momentum swings within the game. You are in control. It's legal and available nationwide in all 50 states on their iOS app now. For one of this weekend's big games, Polymarket is giving Houston only a 39% chance to win, which is crazy because I think Houston has one of the best defenses. Give me the Texans. I'm on them this week over the Patriots and making it to the AFC Championship. $10 is free and waiting for you. No card, no deposit, nothing. Download the app with our exclusive code chat at chatsports.com/Polymarket for exclusive early access and $10 free. Like I was saying, look, Maxx Crosby doesn't just change this team statistically, but he changes their mentality. How often were we watching this defense in 2025 and just thinking there was an edge that was missing? A toughness, a physicality, a violence that was missing. Maxx Crosby turns that around. I promise you. Should the Ravens trade for Maxx Crosby? If you think they should, hit that thumbs up button. Okay? Like today's video. Cast your vote that way and let me know. So as we know, when it comes to Eric DeCosta, he is always going to talk about building in the draft. And he mentioned that as well when talking about helping the pass rusher. Frankly, when I look at this Ravens edge room of Mike Green, Adisa Isaac, Tavius Robinson, which as of right now are the only guys that aren't free agents and that are edge rushers on this roster. I look at that and I think if you just rely on the draft again, you're going to suck again on the defensive line. Like, I'm sorry. You could bring in the best edge rusher in the draft. You could bring in David Bailey. You could bring in Ruben Bain, Mesidor, Falk. It doesn't matter. You're going to suck again. Because sure, maybe you're awesome in 2 years and Mike Green's fully mature and those guys get up to it. Look, this team's Super Bowl window still exists now. And like, even if you do re-sign Draymond Jones, I just think you need something bigger. I think you probably agree with me that just drafting an edge rusher early isn't going to be the thing that takes this Ravens defensive line pass rushing group from a bottom 7 unit to one that's even top 10. You want the Ravens to make a pass rush trade? Yes or no down below. I hope you do. You better, frankly, because I need something to change. Obviously, there's trades, there's drafts, and then there's free agency as well, which will open up in, funny enough, less than 2 months from today, coming down soon. You got some good targets. Trey Hendrickson is one of them. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson had an interesting year in 2025. Only 16 tackles, 4 sacks, but he did not play for the majority of the season because he was dealing with injury. I wouldn't mind Trey Hendrickson on the cheap, but like he would not be my top option just because he's a guy a little bit later into his career that was dealing with a pretty serious injury. Khalil Mack is another guy who's going to be a free agent. I think similar ilk to Trey Hendrickson. While he did produce pretty decently, I think he needs somebody younger. I'm looking to get guys not on a one-year deal, guys that might be able to be a part of the future of the Baltimore Ravens defensive line. A guy like Jalen Phillips, who now that I'm realizing, I don't even think I put on this list, which is a bad thing on my part, but just know Jalen Phillips, top of my list. Hassan Reddick, look, I would have been all over this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But Hassan Reddick just absolutely shot his career. Leaving the Eagles, going to the Jets. That whole thing was just a disaster contract-wise. Then he goes to Tampa Bay. And at this point, it's over. Joey Bosa had a fine year with the Buffalo Bills. Stayed decently healthy, which I think is a positive for him. 5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. But again, I'm going to bring you back to my point about Trey Hendrickson. I'm looking for game changers, man. And the last guy on this list is Malcolm Kuntz. And like all of this should show you, you might not be able to get a game changer in free agency. You might have to go out, make a move, EDC. You might have to put your nuts on the table and do something. How should Baltimore add at the free agent spot, or excuse me, edge rusher spot? Type D for draft, T for trade, FA for free agency. I'm typing T if I'm you. Let me know down below in the comments section. That's going to do it for today's show. If you were wondering what that loud noise was, it was me accidentally punching the desk right in front of me. So I'm going to go make sure I didn't break my hand. We'll see you next time.